Yeah. She added, it's got to be situation appropriate, but I don't really object to just women embracing their bodies and showing up their bodies like the pictures you see.
Well, then what does situationally appropriate mean?
With
your husband once you get married and have kids and there's no windows.
She's a Fox News defector, so I don't know what she means by that. She also explained...
She looks like Mean Cell Award.
What I object to is the unrivaled vanity, like the self-promotional, out-of-control focus on oneself. Ego, clicks, likes, they're hugely responsible for that in our society, referring to the Kardashians. They didn't do it by themselves, but more than any other, they've had a terrible effect in that lane, and I do blame them. I do.
So she blames them for like they promote the culture that makes women or girls want to post explicit photos simply for likes and clicks and all that.
She said that the Kardashians have had a net evil effect on society. They're a net evil force. And she said their disgusting vanity, which has spread like wildfire in society. The selfie culture is abhorrent to me. I think that's what I'm responding to, as opposed to some titillation from a beautiful woman here and there. But like, it's kind of rich coming from a very image-focused news anchor.
Yeah, it's not like she's
like,
just
you are
showing
a television
up to work.
Personality just the same way that the Kardashians are television personalities.
I wouldn't say it's just the same, to be fair.
No, it's that they're both like public facing and they have to care about their looks.
She does not get to go to work and just wear pajamas and show up looking haphazard. She has to come to work put together with her makeup done right. Oh, don't wear makeup, Miss Megyn Kelly.
I don't think
You're promoting the vanity of women.
Would you guys agree that
it's worse than that? And I found nothing wrong with that.
With what?
With that quote from Megyn Kelly at all. Zero.
Yeah, would you guys agree with her that the Kardashians are a net negative force,
yes.
a net evil force,
yes,
even on society?
As a
100%.
Why?
Why?
Yes, you need to
for
explain
all the same reasons she's saying, or is there just vanity? They encourage other people to be vain.
I wouldn't even say it's just vanity. Vanity is inherent to us, but it's different. There is something different about it. There's something. It's almost dehumanized.
Yeah.
Can
I saw this headline that was from Kris Jenner claiming that her daughter Khloe's DUI mugshot is framed in her office because she finds it cute. Like, that's just another level of, like, you have no self-awareness. And your vanity has gone beyond such an extreme that, like, your daughters are an extension of yourself.
Yeah. I want you to finish your statement there.
About the vanity? About them? There's a dehumanizing quality.
Explain that.
Like, it is less about, like, because of them. It's always been this way, but it is exacerbated by them. Exacerbated. Sorry, I said that wrong. It's nothing in the world to me anymore seems genuine. It's transactional. It's about another step. And they're a great example of that, where it's like nothing in their family is real. Nothing about them is real. It's all manufactured to present an image that will get them to the next stage of whatever it is they're trying to do. And it is destroying young people.
I would blame reality TV. I would honestly blame reality TV before I would blame a family for that.
But they're not a family. Like, a family is more than you were born from somebody. Like, they are devoid of the substance of a family.
Be cool if we found out later that they weren't actually related and it was all just a freaking
even if they are, like,
evil
there's
plan.
more to that.
They don't even look related anymore just because of the amount of procedures they've undergone.
Also, like,
but it's even if that, like, I don't have a problem with aesthetic changes people make to themselves. I've had it done to correct traumatic things that have happened to me, and that is totally fine. It is the transactional nature of it. It is like the selling your soul, and I mean that metaphorically, maybe literally, who knows, to get to the next place. There is no genuine connection. You're not actually, when they're trying to empower people, they're trying to empower people to have money to give to them. It is not about their own good. You can believe in people's own good and still sell a product to them. People do it all the
Well,
time.
they do sell products.
Right,
They
but
all
it's not
own
for
companies.
anybody's own good. It's not. There's no. What I'm
no
saying is
reason-
there's no soul to it, and that's fine. I'm not opposed to profit at all. but
There's no reason that
it's
they cannot make.
destruction of- They're debasing people for their own profit, and that's what.
Yeah,
upsets me.
profiting off the backs of the rest
They're
of society
worsening
that's
their lives.
subjected
It's not
to
like,
their-
hey,
What-
we have this great product for you.
Can you
It'll
tell me
help
what-
you, and we'll make
Yeah.
money off it. They're
What product
ruining people's
specifically?
lives.
I mean, like,
What are they making that's doing that?
well, their attention, the attention they receive from people is a product in and of itself,
Okay.
right? Like, it's sort of like,
But he's talking financial. I'm talking like I want to know what exactly because they're
Hmm.
making beauty products.
well, there's a theory that focused human attention is the most valuable resource that exists in the world.
The beauty product is the secondary product. They're selling vanity itself. Like,
Okay.
you are empty unless you look like this. You are empty. You are not somebody that's worth anything unless you act this way, do this way. That's what they're selling people. The beauty products, irrelevant. That's how you use those things.
Those are about like initiating yourself into
A culture,
their
yes. Yeah.
clan.
Yes.
In a way.
And it's that is what's destructive. Just like, and would I want
So
to
what's the
stop
solution?
them from doing it? Jesus, I don't know. But
Based.
I mean the argument would be made, but that would be that your family would help you, would ground
right, but
you
they're
to not
that's
allow
being
this stuff to
destroyed
get to
by
you.
Well,
the
think
rest
about,
of the
like-
establishment. It's saying like, don't trust your family, trust institutions. You know, like there is no independent. Like, your family can't help you. Nothing can help you. Religion can help you, but the right person from the state can help you.
Are they saying that religion can help you?
Who them
Kardashians?
specifically?
I don't know what they're.
about-
I don't
no,
know.
I'm talking about.
I'm
no,
picturing
no,
them
he-
at church and laughing, but
Yeah, no.
they don't go to church, do they?
Well, they've always been like nominally Christian. Who
Oh,
cares?
okay.
But
Are they?
I mean, they're
Are they really?
They post something on social media that's vaguely
They say God.
They're
There's another
spiritual
God
but
of
not
this world.
religious. Yeah.
like
I wouldn't even say that. I would say that their God is a different God.
Well, as the resident Kim Kardashian stan of this podcast,
Well, okay, think about what if Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson actually did plan that moment at the Super Bowl. It's similar to what Ray J claimed, which was that he and Kris Jenner and Kim were all in cahoots to release that
Yeah.
sex tape.
that one
It's
is
all
more.
the same beast, but it's particularly insidious when it's occurring between a mother and her child.
That one is the one that I could point to, that like the general idea of like them debasing culture through their products or through what their image is. There's so many layers to that you have to get to before you get to them. You have your studio executives, you have the writers, you have all these people that make a plan to release something to the public. You have promoters, you have advertisers. All of these people are colluding to debase a culture, right?
Yeah.
But the general idea of a mother and a daughter colluding on something like a sex tape, that is abhorrent.
I don't see a difference between them personally.
And I believed Ray J when he claimed that.
When you said that,
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her for a second.
I mean, I think that this is part of you replace them, and what do you put in their place? Like traditional American values. Do we put Leave It to Beaver back on TV instead? It's not
No,
going to
you can't
resonate with
fake it.
anyone's. Yeah, it's not going to resonate with
It's-
anyone, so it won't matter.
Yeah.
I don't. That's a weird take to me. Like, it's not that you have to like cancel them and replace them with something else. It's that we do what we do, or Eric July does what he does, and we re-influence the culture in the other direction.
So
Do something positive.
Yes. Yeah, show what substance is.
Create
show
something.
what, show that, like, the reason that people are attracted to this stuff is because for so long the moral side has been so empty and profit driven itself. It was disgusting my entire young adult life, and now
Is,
it's coming back around to where it has the substance.
Does do we owe a lot of this to like the mega churches that turned people off to religion at a certain period of time that became like kind of a
I blame them just as hard. Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
Sorry, calling you out, but
That's
but
funny.
yeah, it's empty. He is the exact same. They are one and the same. They are one machine that
Joel
have
Osteen.
many
Is there
different
even-
clothes
Kardashians.
in their closet.
Is there even a way to do this in a mass appeal that comes off as authentic? No.
No.
That's
No.
what I'm saying. I think it's inherently counterintuitive to the idea of what we're trying to what you're
Yeah, I
suggesting.
agree with you
here.
100%.
Okay.
You do it from the bottom up. That's the
So then just embrace the Kardashian of it all. I say, burn it all down
Boo.
as we watch the Kardashians. I've never seen an episode of the Kardashians in my entire
I
life.
have.
But
Actually, I watched that Caitlyn Jenner reality show. What was that called? Call Me Caitlyn.
Here's the thing. I'm not even against their products or the show. Like, I don't want that canceled. It's not about censoring it. But
It's about offering something better.
it's about offering something better. But it's also, if you're going to watch it, like, I've watched trash TV, but I know it's trash. I'm not like, oh, I'd like to emulate
and you
this.
think that there's a lot of people who watch it and don't know. I mean, yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Come on, dude.
There's one
Okay, there you go.
One thing that I am
Clicked.
consistently surprised by is not just the people that watch this stuff or even like the Marvel stuff. And they're not just like, they don't just like it, they're enthralled by it. That like who write
It's
these
like they have this
90-page
beatific vision
Yes,
when they enter the movie theater.
You see these things that people write messages to the Kardashians, not even to the Kardashians, but about the Kardashians on general promo material. And the paragraphs, the diatribes are like this long. And I'm like, that, for all we know, that person could be solving world hunger. Okay. That person could be
in another life.
Yeah, like you're right.
Wasted human potential.
There's
Yeah,
absolutely an argument to be made there.
Yeah.
But you could say that,
There will be retribution.
you could say that maybe we are we contributing more, do you think, than that? Like people who are watching us, are they
I mean, we
gaining
never
more from
claimed
us?
to be the tastemakers
Are
and
they? Are
entertainment leaders
tastemakers,
of our
yeah.
society.
But,
we only comment on it.
Is it an inherent need for entertainment people to search, because they certainly act like it is. They act as if entertainment needs to have a greater purpose, which is what I always laugh at and call them nerds for. I'm like, it doesn't need to be that. Are the Kardashians not kind of the embodiment of like, it's not that deep and other people are just reading into it?
No, I don't think so.
You think that they claim to be deep?
Oh, that they claim.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Are they not the embodiment of their
Superficiality?
They're selling you superficiality, but they're not pretending like it's more than that.
I think they do. I think that the entire industry is selling you on the idea that what they're doing is moral and it's for a reason, that they're opening hearts and minds or whatever.
And maybe it's not them
specifically.
themselves.
Maybe not them specifically, because at the end of the day, they're not people; they're products. We don't know the people; we know the products.
I don't see that talk around the Kardashians. I see that talk around movies. I see that talk
That's
around
for sure,
casting.
true.
I don't
But
see
what's
that talk around the Kardashians.
What's the difference? It's
Because
it's the same disgusting beast.
There's an argument to be made that people read into it anyways. They're like, look at the way she looks at Pete Davidson. Oh my God! And then they go write this long list. They write a long diatribe about love and passion and stuff. I'm like, dude, you could be doing so much with your talents rather than writing to Kim Kardashian a picture or a message she will never see. So they are absolutely weapons of distraction. I'll agree to that. 110%.
People also take them as a model for their lifestyles and their families, and I have never seen like such a dysfunctional group called a family. Like, they have exiled men from their lives who are the fathers of their children, as Kanye calls them, their sperm donors. That is literally how they treat men in their family. And I would even go so far as to say, like, maybe that's why this
part of the anti-male narrative. Yeah.
Why the patriarch, formerly Bruce Jenner, now called Caitlyn Jenner, would not feel very comfortable being a man in that family. And I won't like explain further than that. Obviously, I don't know any of them personally, but it's a strong hypothesis, I think. And
But you just nailed like perfectly, better than I was able to when you asked me. Like, they are promoting that as if that is what a normal life is.
yeah.
And maybe they say, look how outrageous it is, but we are 20 years into it. We're 20 years into it. It's not outrageous anymore.
The problem is
people watch that and they want to experience the same drama that they see on TV, but it's fake. It's not
They want the
real.
glamour of it.
And the problem is, it's effective and it works. You could also make the argument that this has been happening with TV for years. Like the idea that people have been sold the idea of true love rather than actually like finding a suitable partner, settling down and making a life together. Like they've been sold the Disney lie that it's going to be this magical 3-act structure opportunity where you're going to fall in love and it's going to happen like that. And a lot of people have found
something
themselves.
we build and cultivate, and that's what, when you said, what are we doing? That's what we're doing, and that's what people on our side I keep saying that,
See,
colloquially.
Colloquially. Ooh, I got it right that time. Without screwing it up.
But are promoting that. It's like, wow, it's actually, we're at a point to where having a wife and children inside of marriage and loving them and trying to build something with them is counterculture. And it's like, ugh.
And if that's portrayed in media, it has to be shown subverted in some way.
It has to show like how miserable one of them is.
Here's the thing about that. Like
how miserable the wife
I
is.
actually or the husband's just dumb. I believe that in its earliest stages that the people doing that didn't. I hesitate to attribute some that every writer has some like degree in Marxism and they're looking to tear down the family structure. What I think is that writers love the idea of subverting the norms and they just don't realize that what they're trying to do now is just the norm, not subverting.
It's not just about subverting the
know.
norms. They act that way in real life.
Yeah.
Hollywood has always been weirdos.
But
it's always been, and not in a good way, not in like a quirky theater kid way, but like as I was just talking about with you earlier, like there are so many examples from old Hollywood, the 40s, the 50s, even before that too. But like women in Hollywood were basically owned as products by studios that enclosed them in these morality clauses where they couldn't get married and they couldn't get pregnant. Neither one.
Yeah.
Not both at once. Neither. And they were coerced or forced into having abortions. And it, like that, at that point in culture, that wasn't considered normal.
Yeah.
But that's what they considered normal. And that is what crept into the entertainment offerings that they had for society.
So what they're
You know
doing
what I mean?
is they still think that I think they've had more of an effect on our culture than they actually realize, and that they think they're still subverting, but what they're doing now is they've just caught up to themselves in the past.
I don't think so. I think this is just who they are.
No, what I was saying is like I think that back in the day, that they didn't have a grander plan to subvert the culture. I think that the writers you could have trusted that did stuff like this did it because they thought it was actually an interesting concept to subvert the family structure back in the day. But they're still telling those stories now as if the family structure is the same way it was 40 years ago. Also, I do wonder if we're a little bit in our own bubble here. I have plenty of friends who are absolutely normies who got married in their mid-20s and are living blissfully normal lives, and that we have to be careful not to.
No, that's true, but you can see that on the whole, statistically, that is on the decline.
And the point isn't that it's not happening. And the point is that it is looked down upon in the media. Like you make fun of people like that if you're in media. Like in this entire space ever, that kind of lifestyle is like, ugh.
Oh, a normal.
Yeah, and writers subverting the norms of marriage or family just for the concept that they find interesting of subverting those things. I disagree with that because they weren't doing it just conceptually. They were doing it in real life, as I said, to their stars.
That's who they are.
That was what they were doing in real life, and it was also as a result in the media that they showed.
I would take that on a case by case basis. Like I would have.
I mean, with all of those Hollywood stars in the very beginning, like from the beginning, even when that wasn't the norm in society, that
it also
was
opens
what they
their
were.
Lives to more room for entertainment that you would buy from them. Like when you don't have those things, it's like, who are the people who haven't seen movies? No, I'm sorry.
Subverting the norms wasn't an intellectual exercise for them. I'm saying it was what they were doing in real life to real people.
Structurally, the examples that I'm thinking of, though, are like television examples. And typically, writers and actors on television are considered more blue collar. A lot of them stay married for longer periods of time, have, for Hollywood standards, normal lives. On the grander scale, movies, the example that me and you always give, American Beauty, all those mid-90s movies that decried the absolute awfulness that was suburbia. Oh my God, I have a pension and a 401k. My life is so boring. Whatever shall I do? That was the 90s, right? We had it so good back then before the crash in 08.
I think it was just as bad then. It was just hidden better. Like,
was it hidden better, or did we just... We see it now, so we see it. Like I said, I think a lot of other people just don't see it. Like a lot of other people can watch this stuff and be blissfully unaware of what they're seeing. But it's like I talk about a lot. I say, I wish I could hack up the red pill sometimes, as much as I hate that term. I would love to be able to go back to watch movies and TV and not see this stuff.
I think that
but you can't.
The art wasn't like you said it was their art to like subvert the family. The art was selling you on that's not what they were doing the whole time.
And I'm not just
go back in time and say, oh, this was pro this. No, it wasn't. It was tearing it down just more artfully.
And yes, okay. And I was also speaking about the concept of subversion more on a wider scale, not just the family, but the idea of the strong female character in a time like. And I point that out to you, Mary, all the time on the show. I was like, I have a list of TV shows with strong female characters that goes back 25 years. Not just Sarah Connor, not just Ripley, not just these famous examples you've heard. I don't believe that the people who did this in the 90s or the 2000s wanted anything more than to just create a good character. And at that time on TV, and the movies, fine, different writers, higher pay scale. Are they more evil? Possibly. I have no idea. But I do believe that there's an inherent excitement to writing characters like that when it was less the norm, that I actually laugh now when I read them talk about it now like it hasn't been done before. Yeah. I think those people feel cheated that they didn't get to be the ones that actually set the taste for the future of this industry, of these industries.
I think all of those people to me are just barnacles on a larger industry that is itself wholly corrupt. They are, it's the whole, it's not a corrupt industry. It's like there's not evil people running it. It's just a bunch of people acting in their self-interest, and that will inevitably turn into something negative. I don't buy that. I believe that there are people in it. You're like, oh, that's not a bad person. Just like, whether it's TV or movies, there's people that are in it that are like, they're just trying to do their job, and they're not trying to do anything wrong. But the industry itself at the top is entirely corrupt, and it's not about like they chose people and those people happen to do this. They choose people who will do those things. And
the stories they choose to tell. It's always funny when there's outliers. Like I said, there's like that super cut of like the guy who made this list of it's all shows that covered child trafficking, and then the show suddenly gets canceled. Yeah. But also like I saw an old episode of NCIS Los Angeles where they have a radicalized school teacher who teaches kids about Chairman Mao. And like he's like, you may be able to get me out of this position, but I've sown a lot of seeds in my day. And I couldn't believe they even allowed that story to be told even in 2012 because it hit so close to home to what's actually going on in colleges. But it's like, imagine the worlds they could open up if they actually told other stories that weren't so derivative, but they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.